Mr. Ding Cheng, as well as Dr. Adrian Chang, Chair of the Mega Arts and Cultural Events Committee. The Deputy Financial Secretary will first give some opening remarks, and then presentations with PowerPoint will be given, and then the floor will be open for questions and answers. The DFS will have the floor now. Good afternoon. Welcome, friends of the media and citizens watching the webcast. Today, I'd like to give you an update on the development of mega events economy. I'd also like to brief you on the upcoming events in the coming months. The focus is on arts and culture, and that is why we're joined by Dr. Adrian Chang today. Hong Kong is Asia's world city, and we're primed for hosting mega events. In the first half of 2024, more than 80 mega events will be held covering culture, arts, sports, finance, trade, etc. These mega events not only bring joy to citizens, they also attract tourists from around the world. They also drive the development of different sectors such as tourism, hotel, catering, retail, bringing in economic benefits. But apart from the direct contribution to the economic growth, we also need to have regard to the indirect contributions. As the chief executive pointed out yesterday, when these visitors come to Hong Kong to take part in the mega events, they can see for themselves that Hong Kong is a vibrant city. Usually, they have a very good impression of Hong Kong. When they go back to their homes, they become good storytellers of Hong Kong, and we must not disregard this positive impact, because mega events can consolidate and enhance Hong Kong's status as an international city. But like the chief executive said, we can always strive for improvements and scale new heights. I believe that we should be able to achieve more, and that is why I'm going to explain our 3 strategies to strive for excellence. First, we will take a more proactive approach. That means we will reach out and attract more mega events to be held in Hong Kong. And we're very grateful to the Hong Kong Tourism Board. It will make use of its existing network together with the Hong Kong Trade Development Council and the economic and trade offices around the world to identify different events, and they will actively liaise with the relevant contexts so as to explore possibilities of having more mega events to be held in Hong Kong and how they should be held. We will also add local elements. For example, there will be other activities surrounding the mega events. We'll also enhance our hospitality services such as cultural, arts, gourmet, shopping, and themed tourism activities. In fact, the Hong Kong Tourism Board just started its work. This is a very good example. For the Asia Financial Forum held between the 24th and the 26th of this month, we were able to attract 3,600 participants to come to Hong Kong. And the Hong Kong Tourism Board, meanwhile, arranged for tram tours and a visit to the Hong Kong Palace Museums, not to mention the cuisine experience in Hong Kong for visitors and participants to have a very good experience. Like many guests have commented, they are more in love with Hong Kong with these activities, as they could feel for themselves the vibrancy here. The second approach is that we will enhance overall coordination. Now, for organizers of mega events, they may not require financial support, but rather some facilitation measures in terms of timing and application for licenses, crowd control, management. these are things undertaken by the government, but we have yet to set up a mechanism to coordinate all these things. So we're going to establish an interdepartmental coordination group on mega events. I will be the team leader, and Kevin, the secretary for culture, sports and tourism, will be the deputy team leader. The group will comprise the representatives of different departments. We'll ensure that there will be cross-departmental support, and we will also ensure close communication and collaboration between bureaus, departments, and statutory bodies, so as to promote a culture of holding mega events in Hong Kong. So apart from support for specific events, we also want to drive a change in the culture within the government so that we wear this hat as a facilitator. The Hong Kong Tourism Board likewise will set up a dedicated team. This will be a one-stop portal, or the first of contact. They will liaise with event organizers. Some organizers are interested in holding events in Hong Kong, and they may need to approach different government departments. But from now on, the Hong Kong Tourism Board will become the first of contact so that one-stop service can be provided. They will liaise with event organizers to understand their needs. They will also make a preliminary assessment, including the benefits that will be brought about by the mega events. They will also give advice to the government. The third strategy is that we need to build a citywide ambience. In fact, yesterday at the Q&A session, some LegCo members put forward this suggestion by the to the chief executive. Say, if you are in that sector, you may be familiar with the mega events such as the World Cargo Shipping Conference. But for the general public, we want them to be able to share the joy and pride, because we are Asia's capital, and we want to, or the event capital city in Asia. So we want to enhance public awareness. Now, first, we will work with the TMHK. It will launch a new multimedia program that is called Mega Events, Mega Hong Kong. This program will broadcast in Putonghua, English, and Cantonese. They will be broadcast on the respective language channels. The program will also be launched on TV, radio, and social media platforms, so that we create this citywide ambience and spark the interest of the general public. The Information Services Department will also cooperate with other media outlets so as to further promote the mega events through multiple channels. Now, the mega events cover different aspects. I'm afraid we won't have time to go through every single one of them, so we'll focus on arts and culture today. There are two other areas. One is exhibition and conferences. In fact, in the end of February, the Jewelry Expo will be held. The World Cargo Shipping Conference will be held in March. The Web3 Forum will be held as well. There is also the Digital Economy Summit in April. And then next month, the Commerce and Economic Development Bureau will hold another conference to give you more details on the upcoming events. As for large-scale financial conferences, we have the Financial Week in March. There will also be the second Wealth for Good for family offices and asset managers. And there is also the inaugural International Investors Summit. Likewise, the relevant bureau will hold a press conference next month to give you more details. Coming back to today's topic, we focus on arts and culture. Starting from April last year, the Mega Arts and Cultural Events Fund already approved 15 projects. 9 of them are in the pipeline. 6 of them have been completed, and 3 more activities will come up in the coming months. Now, Adrian will in a moment give you more details about the 3 up-and-coming mega events. Dr. Pang Yu Kai and Mr. Dane Chang are with us today. They are very dedicated to promoting tourism, and they will also give you a presentation on mega events in Hong Kong.
As the Deputy Secretary has said, Hong Kong is the event capital city in Asia, covering all sectors like finance, arts and culture, and sports. We've been holding events, mega events all the time, among which cultural, sports, and tourism mega events are very attractive to citizens and visitors. And in fact, mega events themselves are important in promoting our culture, sports, and tourism. Therefore, since the establishment of our bureau, as far as policies and work are concerned, we have been going all out. Under the leadership of our chief executive and with the establishment of our bureau in this term of the administration, we have been launching new initiatives. So in terms of culture, in the year 2023, we set up the fund to drive the mega arts and cultural events, so that we can become the center for the exchange of Chinese and Western cultures. As the Secretary has said, 15 events have been granted funding support. In a moment, Dr. Zhang will briefly talk about the 3 upcoming events. Well, in fact, other than those subsidized by the fund, we have been holding annual events every year. Last year, we were able to successfully hold the cultural event, which is Asia Plus Festival. And in fact, this year, we are going to hold the event in April this year. And then for the second time, for the second year, we are going to have art installations at the waterfront of the Victoria Harbour. When you go out from the Tamar, and if you see the ball, then you can see the art at harbour installation.
The World Cultural Festival and the Chinese Cultural Festival will also be held in the first half of this year. On sports, the CST Bureau enhanced the M-Mark funding scheme in April last year. We increased the funding ceiling for each event and lifted the quota of M-Mark events to be organized by each applicant. We also allow private applications from private organizations. So far, 17 major international sports events have been awarded the M-Mark status, which is a record high. It includes the Aramco Team Series, World Rally Cross Hong Kong, as well as Hangzhou-Macau Bridge Half Marathon and WDSF World Series Breaking. These activities have attracted over 500,000 participants. This year, we expect to have 20 major international sports events getting the M-Mark status. 15 different sports are covered, such as tennis, marathon, football, golf, velodrome, cycling, triathlon, billiard, Hong Kong Sevens, as well as 3x3 basketball. Last year, under the Tourism Commission's leadership, the Hong Kong Tourism Board strived for more mega events to take place in Hong Kong. They attracted visitors as well as promoted Hong Kong as a tourism destination. The UIM E1 World Championship E1 will, for the first time, be held in Hong Kong for 3 consecutive seasons. The Hong Kong Tourism Board will also continue to host different mega events, such as the Hong Kong International Dragon Boat Race, Harbour Chill, Hong Kong Cyclothon Wine and Dine Festival, Taste Around Town Winter Fest, New Year Countdown, as well as the Chinese New Year Night Parade. Will also assist in the promotion of different mega events such as Hong Kong Marathon, the Hong Kong Sevens, as well as Art Basel, Art Central, French May Arts Festival, as well as the inaugural Hong Kong Pop Festival, so as to showcase to the world Hong Kong's diversity and allow co-development of sports, arts, and culture and tourism, and to enrich visitors' experience. Like the Deputy Financial Secretary said, the Hong Kong Tourism Board will consolidate resources to enhance communication and coordination on the hosting of mega events. Dr. Pang Yu-kai and Executive Director Mr. Dane Chang will further illustrate their work in a moment. Promoting mega events to be hosted in Hong Kong is the core or the staple of our Bureau's work. Now, we will continue to proactively lobby the support and invite mega events to set up presence in Hong Kong. We'll also actively liaise with the organizers, and more importantly, we need to show the organizers of mega events that the Hong Kong government and Hong Kong people attach a lot of importance to mega events. We are sincere so as to attract more mega events to be hosted in Hong Kong. Now, regardless of whether the government provides financial support, as long as there is a practical need, our Bureau will actively coordinate the matter for the successful hosting of the mega event. For example, LV, Louis Vuitton, successfully held a fashion show at Tsim Sha Tsui Harbourfront in November last year. Our Bureau actively coordinated among different government departments, and according to a rough estimate, the mega event was viewed 600 million times, both in and out of Hong Kong. It's very important in raising our international image and profile. Another major brand, Dior, will hold a fashion show in March this year. This is not funded by the government, but our Bureau will proactively liaise with different departments, and I also like to thank Dr. Adrian Chang for being the liaison. It also shows the importance of collaborating with the business sector. Now, in the first half of this year, as mentioned by Deputy FS, over 80 mega events will be held. The Inter Miami CF will visit Hong Kong in February. This will be a very eye-catching event. On the first day of the Chinese New Year, we have the Cathay International CNY Night Parade. In the second day of Chinese New Year, in fact, we just announced that the fireworks show will be held, and then for the first time, the LIV Golf Series will be held in Hong Kong, followed by art in March. That means we have a number of arts programs in March, followed by the Hong Kong Sevens and the Hong Kong Pop Culture Festival. So one after another, the SAR government and the mega events organizers will join hands in promoting the events to raise public awareness and invite participation. We also encourage members of the public to support us in our work so that we can all feel the vibrancy and joy brought about by the mega events. Mr. Chang can now give you more idea about the mega events.
Thank you, Mr. Yuan. Let me talk about the Mega Arts and Cultural Events Committee. It was established last year, and since our establishment, we tried very hard to become the intermediary, and we try to make connections, and we search around the globe to get cultural and arts events to come to Hong Kong so as to drive our mega event economy. We would like to have collaboration between the business, the government, and the community to drive the mega events. And we hope that we can attract visitors and we can generate income in the year 2024. We believe that we can introduce 9 mega events into Hong Kong this year. In a moment, I will focus on 3 of them. The first one will be upcoming next month for the Valentine's Day as well as the Chinese Valentine's Day. We'll have the giant horse, the chubby horse. And in fact, it was curated and presented by the Hong Kong Design Center as well as the famous designer Anya Himach. The hearts will reach different corners of Hong Kong, surprising the visitors as well as the citizens. There will be, I'm going to show you a trailer. the chubby hearts, they will go to the main streets as well as the back alleys, so that we are going to give a facelift to our cityscape. We are going to have a giant heart, 12 meters in diameter. For 11 days in a row, it will appear in Central's Statue Square. Another 3 of them, 3 meters in terms of diameter, on Valentine's Day at the Flowers Market, at Lam Chin Fishing Square in Taipo, as well as the Belcher Bay Promenade, Kennedy Town. They will appear for your photos. And then for 3 days in a row, we are going to show them at 3 different places, so as to surprise our citizens and visitors. The organizer will give you the details later on. We believe that we can attract 100,000 visitors. For the second mega event this year, it will be to celebrate Jing Rong, that is Cha Liang Yong's centennial memorial. And in fact, our committee will be subventing the mega events, traditional culture as well as art tech will be combined, so that we will have mega event IPs, and it will tell a good story of Chinese culture. So it will be hosted between the 16th of March and the 2nd of July. And in fact, Yang Guo, Xiaolonglu, Guo Jing 等等 etc. Will be the main characters that will be showcased at the Edinburgh Square. We are going to showcase the sculptures of Ren Zhe, and there will be immersive experience to tell you about the martial arts in Jing Rong's story. And then at the Hong Kong Heritage Museum, we are going to have a show of the sculptures. We believe that we can attract 460,000 visitors, or 400,000 visitors. I'm going to show you another trailer. Now come to the third one. In fact, it is the world's largest pop culture event, ComplexCon. Every year it takes place in Los Angeles. It's the first time that we have it in Asia. Well, between the 22nd and the 24th of March this year, we are going to host it at the Asia World Expo. From America, Japan, Korea, the mainland, and Hong Kong, we are going to have local as well as international brands. And in fact, many brands as well as designers will come. 1/4 of them will come from the mainland, and they're going to showcase their latest products. That would be very popular with the younger generation. We believe that we can attract over 30,000 visitors and citizens. Again, another trailer for you. Well, in addition to the 3 I have mentioned, there are other events in March, like the Oz Global Fashion Show, Art Central, Art Basel. Our committee will continue to scout for more mega events to come to Hong Kong. Together with the government, we are going to drive the mega event economy. Let's hope that with a year's events, we can boost the business of our retail industry, our hotel industry, etc. And in this way, we can also promote the development of our arts and culture industries, and we will shine globally. In a moment, I'm going to give the floor to Dr. Pang. Thank you, Dr. Zhang. Well, the Hong Kong Tourism Board is tasked with promoting our tourism industry, and we have been relying on our experience to promote the charm of Hong Kong and attract visitors to come. And we want to enhance and enrich the visitor experience in Hong Kong so that we can consolidate our reputation as the event capital city in Asia, as well as the international conference and exhibition capital. We have the Hong Kong Wine and Dine Festival. We have the Hong Kong Winter Fest, Hong Kong New Year countdown celebrations, and soon we're going to have the Cathay Pacific International Chinese New Year Parade, Hong Kong International Dragon Boat Races, and Hong Kong Cyclothon. We also give full support in subventing some of the mega sports events like the Hong Kong Sevens, Hong Kong Tennis Open, and Art Basel, Art Central, as mentioned earlier on. The Hong Kong Tourism Board has been promoting a pioneer or pilot scheme to sponsor, promote local or district-level festivals that have huge tourism potential, like the Yulan Festival, the Hong Kong Streetathon, and the Hong Kong Dragon and Dance Festival. We have been helping with the promotion of MICE, and we would like to attract high value-added visitors to come so that we can consolidate our status as the international capital of conventions and exhibitions. We have been able to secure over 60 exhibitions last year. In the coming year, we believe that there will be over 330,000 participants. 210,000 will be visitors to Hong Kong. With the new coordination set up, we'll continue to become the first point of contact so that we can further enhance the communication and coordination among government departments and public organizations so that we can get them to come to Hong Kong. And I would like to defer to our chief executive to give you the details. Thank you. A moment ago, the DFS talked about the new organizational setup to enhance coordination and communication. We are honored to be the first point of contact. So for the Hong Kong Tourism Board, let me talk about our role in the new setup. Say, for example, once the organizers have approached us and we have an idea of their initial plan, we'll come up with an initial assessment. And if necessary, we'll invite experts, the relevant industry, and even government departments to give us advice. And for our consideration, there are three major factors to be considered when we carry out our assessment and selection. For it to be called a mega event, we hope that we can attract a large number of visitors and citizens to participate. And then it should help in exposing Hong Kong so that we have positive exposure globally and conjure a positive image of Hong Kong. And we hope that it can showcase our strategic position, like as a center for cultural and arts exchange, super connector between Hong Kong and the mainland cities, as well as the rest of the world. And such factors on their own or in combination with other factors, they will all be given consideration by us.
So what measures should we adopt in supporting these events? There are 5 of them. Under the existing mechanism, the Hong Kong Tourism Board has achieved a lot of success in implementing these 5 prongs. First, we are the one-stop portal or the first point of contact. We review and assess the proposal. We consider whether it's worthy of support. Like Deputy Financial Secretary just said, sometimes instead of requiring financial support, these mega events may require support in other forms. So we work out the details with experts. The second prong is venues. A venue is very important. We help with identifying the right one, and we also go on site visits. And then we discuss the program, and we also consider how the event is to be publicized. There should be a promotion plan. So we consider their input. We consider all these factors. More importantly, the project should meet the objective of promoting Hong Kong as the event capital in Asia and Hong Kong as an international conference and exhibition capital. Now, the Hong Kong Tourism Board makes use of our strength, and that is our global network in publicizing these events. So before the event is launched, we liaise with different organizations. We also leverage on our global network to publicize the event both locally and around the world. Especially, we leverage on the internet. And on top of our website, we also make use of YouTube, Instagram, 小红书, Douyin, these social media platforms and other official channels. We also invite KOLs and the relevant sectors to come over and get first-hand experience so that they can hype up the events and help us promote them. Let me give you this example. In the past, we helped promoted a lot of mega events in Hong Kong, such as Arts in Hong Kong under the Art Basel. This fair has been held in Hong Kong for many years. It's a great success. It's not only a mega event in Asia, but an international mega event. And through years of hard work, apart from Art Basel, there have been different events happening surrounding Art Basel. So one such example is Hello Arts in Hong Kong, which will take place in March. We will step up publicity worldwide. We will also create a citywide ambience, as we always do this year. This year marks 1 year anniversary of resuming normal travel in Hong Kong, and over 10 events will be held surrounding Art Basel Hong Kong. Next one of the earliest major events held in Hong Kong is the Hong Kong Sevens. We're going to support this rugby event by introducing new elements so that this event can include elements of catering and retail, and we will invite celebrities to come to this party as well. We have a dedicated team in the Hong Kong Tourism Board to provide support to conference and exhibition organizers so as to attract them to set up presence in Hong Kong. Again, we have different strategies to help with the bidding of venues. So again, we provide a one-stop support service to them. As the government has set up a centralized interdepartmental coordination group, we will continue to strengthen our support for conferences and exhibitions. We look forward to working closely with different organizers and different departments, units, so as to attract more mega events to be hosted in Hong Kong. As for organizers of the existing mega events, apart from leveraging on the existing channels of applying for funding support and promotion, we also would like to liaise with them so that we can tap their wisdom and help our dedicated team do a better job in organizing mega events in Hong Kong. So the most important point is to step up liaison. And another important point is that it takes time to prepare for mega events to be hosted in any city. We need to work ahead in preparing and promoting these events. This will be very helpful in building Hong Kong into an event capital of Asia.
Please identify yourself as well as the media organization that you represent. 2 questions each at most. The lady at the back. Good afternoon. I'm from TMHK. Just now, you have all talked about the arrangements for the upcoming mega events in the year. And what about concert economy? This is a hot topic. The industry is concerned about the Hong Kong Coliseum. It is difficult to book the event. And then for West Kowloon, there is a restriction on the number of spectators. And we're not sure about whether the Hong Kong Kai Tak Sports Park can host any concerts. So in this regard, what is your solution to the problem? And the Hong Kong Tourism Board will take a role in this setup. So I want to know how you're going to be even more proactive in getting the mega events to come. Are you going to take the initiative to invite pop stars to come to Hong Kong? Thank you for your questions. I'll take the 2 questions from you. I think your focus is on the venues for concerts, musical concerts. I think we have got 3 of them, 3 indoor venues, Hong Kong Coliseum, AWE, on the Airport Island, as well as the Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Center in Wan Chai. Well, I just want to talk about the latest developments over the years. We've got more outdoor venues at West Kowloon, giving you a capacity of 8,000 seats. And in fact, it can be expanded to 10,000. It's called Wonderland. It's a regular venue. And then we've also got the Central Harbour Front. For performance, you can accommodate 10 to 20,000 spectators, but again, it's outdoors. We have also got the Wan Chai waterfront event space. We have talked to the organizers. We believe that in the second quarter of this year, that is between April and June, there will be activities to be held there. So there will be more outdoor events, but more indoor venues. For outdoor venues, they are subject to inclement weather. Now, back to the Hong Kong Sports Park. It is going to be the largest venue, and it can be covered. That's the Kai Tak Sports Park, and it can accommodate maximum 50,000 spectators. There are different configurations accommodating 20, 30,000 spectators. There's another 10,000 seat indoor venue at Kai Tak. So for indoor venues, more spaces, and then for the capacity, it is going to expand hugely. So we believe that it is the right time for us to step up our efforts to attract the events to come. I think you know that, take concerts as an example. The stars, the bands won't come to a city in every year. For such artists, they would have already decided on the schedules for the next 2 to 3 years' time. So we believe that if we start negotiations now, we'll be more likely to succeed. As to whether we're going to be proactive in getting the stars to come, we won't be disclosing the details, like the OA SES. If we make disclosure of the details, that would affect the negotiation. Once we are able to make any announcements, we'll do so. And then in terms of subventions and subsidies, Adrian is here. They have got the ACE Fund, and it is going to provide subventions or subsidies. But then that's only one of the many channels. Back to the question of music concerts. For successful business cases, they don't actually need financial support. They need support on other fronts, in particular for huge outdoor venues. Crowd control, traffic and transport management would be more of interest to them. And we will be stepping up our efforts in this regard. The next reporter, in the third row, the lady in white. Good afternoon, Oriental Daily. My first question is, earlier on, we saw that the Hong Kong Tourism Board staged many events and exhibitions like the Wine and Dine Festival, etc. And then for the past year or two, people have a tight budget. I just wonder whether they are really value for money. And have you ever carried out any assessment whether the participating organizers did make some money? So they may not be interested to join next year. So have you considered the effectiveness of such events? For such less successful events, are you going to repeat them? And then what about the setting up of KPIs, that is, whether you have set a target as to the number of visitors to be attracted and how many exhibitions, how many events to be staged. I think we've been talking about mega event economy all the time lately. So DFS, are you going to disclose whether the budget will set aside some money on this area? 3 questions. Well, effectiveness. Well, in fact, it is hugely effective. As the chief executive said yesterday at the LegCo, according to the assessment of the chief economist, for every 1.5 million visitors, the impact on our GDP will be 0.1%. So we are talking about the aggregate number of tourists. If you look at individual mega events, sometimes we have got very high end visitors, and then the economic benefits will be even larger. We don't actually just set our eyes on the financial benefits. There are also invisible benefits. We have global sort of exposure, and in fact the visitors that came will bring messages back to their home cities. Well, in fact, they think that Hong Kong is diversified, Hong Kong is vibrant, Hong Kong is dynamic, Hong Kong is safe. These are the impressions that they have of Hong Kong. When they go out, they don't need to worry as to which street they have to avoid. They feel safe in Hong Kong. I think you will agree with me that you can't say the same in relation to other cities. We do have KPIs, and for the year 2024, we know that we believe that there will be 150 or more mega events. But then if we adopt this as our KPI, it would be a bit sort of tricky, because they were planned and prepared a few years back. We'll be sort of having a evaluation later on. For the year 2024-25, we are going to set a KPI. Well, as to the rate of growth that we have in mind, well, I believe that we can make a decision later on in the light of our experience. Well, you talked about the budget. Well, if you want to know about the budget, I'm afraid I can't tell you anything. Please wait for the last week of February.
This gentleman in black at the back. Good afternoon, DFS. Many members have expressed concern about Taylor Swift. And then in the negotiation process, the venue issue was raised, and then the plan didn't come through. Now, with the mega events arrangements, will you be able to attract them to come back? Now, DFS, about the forums held in Hong Kong, usually there'll be several thousand participants coming. But for mega entertainment or sports events, you will be able to attract much more people to come. So, to be frank, will the Hong Kong Tourism Board be able to fully assess the benefits of these mega events. Now, it's very difficult to illustrate the benefits of any particular events here, but we do remain very proactive. We get in touch with the middleman or the organizer of mega events. Now, usually, say for holding concerts, we approach the agent. We show our hospitality. We make it clear that we welcome them. Now, for the example you just gave, it's not possible to hold a 10,000, to hold a concert at a 10,000 10,000 people seating capacity venue. So we need to await for the big venue to be built. Now, the second question about Hong Kong Tourism Board, we are very confident that they have the experience in doing so. I will give them the floor. The Hong Kong Tourism Board has been playing this role of promoting Hong Kong as Asia's world city. We are world-renowned city. Say we have the Hong Kong Winter Fest, we have the Dine and Wine Festival, and we just held the New Year celebrations countdown. Apart from these, in the past few years, despite COVID, we continued to receive inquiries from organizers of major events. So we do see this opportunity in attracting more mega events to be held in Hong Kong, because after all, we are the hub in Asia. We're also the gateway to the mainland. So we're approached by many interested organizers. Well, of course, some organizers reached out to other government bureaus and departments, and we act as the liaison. Now, a coordination group will be set up in the government. The merit is that a single window will be provided. And again, I believe we will be able to give play to our strength. We will not work on our own. We will work with experts to go through at least a preliminary assessment. Now, we must bear in mind that we can't call every event a mega event. Say for an event attended by 10,000 participants is of course a mega event. What about an event of having just several thousand participants? Then it depends. Say for the economic forum or financial forums, despite not having as many participants, they may have a big impact. So we will be the first point of contact so that these organizers can find the right contact point. In the past, we were told by different organizers that they were unsure which unit to approach if they were to hold a major event in Hong Kong. Now, we put in place a funding scheme, and that has attracted the interest of many organizers. So I think it's perfect timing to set up this coordination group. Next question, this lady in white over there. 2 questions for Mr. Chang. Chief Executive mentioned that Hong Kong should invite some world-renowned pop singers to hold concerts in Hong Kong. Will you follow suit so as to make our brand known? Because many singers would usually go for the Asia World Expo venue near the airport. And the other point is this. You talk to the arts director of Dior in France, as well as the worldwide ambassador Mbappe, the footballer. Will there be a meeting with them? Apart from the 3 mega events you mentioned, what are the other mega events, and what is the estimated number of participants? About cultural giants and singers, we will of course do our level best to attract them to come to Hong Kong. For the Mega Arts and Cultural Events Committee, we have some esteemed members with very good network. they all chip in inviting world-renowned singers and celebrities to come to Hong Kong. Now, your other question is on the arts director of the fashion brand. I think that you should wait for announcement by this brand. Now, third question about upcoming events. We talked about 3 of them, and 6 more will come on stream. They include an arts exhibition, and also some relate to pop culture and activities that would tell good stories of the mainland and Hong Kong. Our objective is to enshrine the spirit of mega events, mega Hong Kong, so that mega events can showcase mega Hong Kong, that Hong Kong is an international city. Let's take an English question.
Okay, Mr. Wong, you mentioned that the government will be more proactive in trying to attract mega events to Hong Kong, and that the TB will be like the first window. Can you explain how this will work better and how this is different from efforts in the past? How will that how is the board's role going to enhance the whole situation? And another question is for Dr. Adrian Chang. You mentioned about the Choppy Hearts and also the Jing Rong events coming up. Can you give more details about it, and how successful do you think they can be in terms of attracting tourists and also helping the vibes of local Hong Kong people? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. If you recall, one of the slides one of the presentation slide in my presentation deck, one is would reach out more proactively. So I will emphasize the word more. It is not that we are not proactive at this stage, but it's just that the efforts could be better organized. For example, when I talk about reaching out, we will coordinate the efforts of Hong Kong TV, Hong Kong TDC, and the ETOs of the Hong Kong government in approaching different event organizers and intermediaries when we've identified events with potential, and we'll talk to them to see if they are interested in organizing and having the event in Hong Kong. And once this is done, and let's say a case is shown to have potential, it would then be referred back to the Hong Kong team. The Hong Kong TV team will then work on the project, do the necessary evaluation, and let's say a project requires broad inter-bureau, inter-department coordination, and then the group chaired by me, with Kevin as vice chairman, we will come in. At this stage, various departments will also be helpful and be facilitating as much as possible. But we do think that there's room for the culture to be improved. And we believe that the increased coordination will be a big help. So I think that's my short answer to your questions.
I think it's also about strengthening not only coordination but the speed of response, because these mega events and these performances, they're often approaching several cities at the same time. And if we are able to coordinate our efforts better, speedier, and respond more efficiently, then they will come to us rather than go to somebody else. So the coordination, the response, and the friendliness of Hong Kong to them will make a difference in them selecting Hong Kong as their preferred location.
係頭先3個項目咧。
Well, for the 3 items.
So for Chubby Hearts and also for Jingyong's event, what we are focusing on is also to incubate the cultural landscape in Hong Kong. So if you can see that for Jingyong's event, we have an interdisciplinary kind of collaboration with a lot of Hong Kong creatives. For example, we have Cheung Suk Ping, a very famous fashion designer. We have Lei Chi-ching, a very famous comic illustrator and also musician, Chen Jie. And these are all creatives that we are collaborating and cross-pollinating and helping Hong Kong in the creative industry. So, and all the 3 events that we just mentioned, we hopefully we can attract around 600,000 visitors to come. And the 9 events that is coming to Hong Kong this year, we're expecting more than 1.5 million visitors coming to Hong Kong.
Sorry, can you talk a bit about the Chubby Hearts event?
The Chubby Hearts, we are working with Hong Kong Design Center. And as I said, that we are going to cover more than 10 locations around Hong Kong. The one that is the biggest heart will be in Central, and it will be for 11 days. And the rest is going to be like a pop-up scenarios where it will pop up in different locations across 10 locations around Hong Kong.
好，下一個提問。
The next question, please. The gentleman in green in the second row. Yes, I'm from Mingpao. Both questions are for the DFS. Yes, we have talked about the lack of a KPI for the upcoming events, but then can you tell us about the economic benefits, the number of visitors expected, and are you going to set aside public money, which is additional, for the Hong Kong Tourism Board to carry out the publicity campaign? Yesterday, lawmakers were concerned about the high-profile law enforcement actions, saying that it's difficult to bring about harmony to Hong Kong. And in this year, there will be the Article 23 legislation, and that would attract criticisms from the rest of the world. So are you afraid that your efforts will be less than productive? So are you worried that that would affect the image of Hong Kong as well? Thank you for your 3 questions. Resources. Yes, I have to tell YK, Dane, as well as Kevin, I'm sorry, we don't have additional resources for more manpower. If you ask me whether there's something in the budget, that's another story. But then for the Hong Kong Tourism Board, whether they're going to get more manpower, more resources, more subvention, I'm afraid not. And then again, for the Bureau for Culture, Sports and Tourism, again, they don't have additional manpower. As you know, that as far as public finance in Hong Kong is concerned, it is tight. But then we believe that we can still create more value. I would like to speak on behalf of YK, and then in the course of our discussion, we can feel their passion. I hope I'm correct in saying that they would like to take this up voluntarily, and they've come up with many ideas. The same is true for Kevin, and I'm grateful to the Hong Kong TDC as well, even though they're not represented today. So they have already agreed to help. So that's the answer to the question about resources. As to the second question, well, I think the figures this year are better than last year's. So if I may illustrate with an example, say for the Asia Financial Forum, AFF, we have got 3,600 participants. This is a historic high. Well, Hong Kong, as an event capital, we are hugely attractive. And then as to the value added by individual mega events, well, we have been talking to the government economists. Just now gave you an overall figure. But then it isn't just about more visitors as a result of mega events. I was saying that for every 1.5 million additional visitors, our GDP will grow by 0.1%. And then as to whether we can sort of break down figures for individual mega events, well, in fact, the government economist did say that we could do so, but then we need to be careful. We try to find out whether the visitors, how the visitors have been staying in Hong Kong, the amount of money that they spent, what they did during their stay. But then you have to be careful if you try to magnify it and multiply it. Well, I think it's time for the last question in the interest of time management. The lady on this side. I'm from TVB. Good afternoon. Just now you said that financially you might not be providing subsidies for the mega events. Are you afraid that you would lose out to Macau, and then the mega events will end after they have been concluded? What else would you be doing to maintain the momentum? And then for the funding, for the LIV golf event, the prize money is huge. Why hasn't it been included? Is it because it is a very sensitive issue, because the prize money would be $190 million? Well, if you have the impression that we don't give financial support, I'm afraid I didn't make myself clear. We have been providing a lot of financial support with the Mega Fund. We have the MMARC system. So we have got different arrangements. Sometimes it's a matching grant, sometimes it's a direct subvention. But then I want to tell you that for the mega events coming to Hong Kong, they don't come to get our financial support. In particular, for those they have got huge market value. Say, for example, for music concerts, they do make money. But then sometimes they may be concerned about other logistics or other arrangements. I won't repeat the details that I have already talked about earlier on. Mega events. I don't think mega events will last for 365 days, usually a week or a month or two. But then mega events can become a routine. If it is successful this year, they will come back again next year. For many mega events, you know that they are annual in nature and they come to Hong Kong and they come round about the same year in the year. So it won't be right to say that when a mega event finishes, it's the end of the story. Well, they will try to find out whether it is a good value for money when they have it in Hong Kong. Kevin, for the Hong Kong Golf Open, in my opening remarks, I've mentioned that, in fact, it was mentioned in my opening remarks, it is one of the mega events in Hong Kong. If you care to read the paper that we handed out, we have listed out 80 prize events. Well, the Information Services Department will give you a list of 80 plus mega events held in the first half of last year. We'll give you the details. But in fact, it was indeed one of the cooperation events between the government and the Hong Kong Golf Club. It is a mega event, and in fact, the golf course, the event itself is good in terms of promoting Hong Kong as a venue for golf competitions. Well, as to mega events, you hope that they will be annual in nature. Of course, we do want them to be regular events, annual in nature. For Dr. Zhang's committee, I think one of their missions is to get events that will come to Hong Kong and have them hosted every year. But of course, organizers may not be organizing the event every year, or the nature of the event is such that they want to tour around and they may not come to Hong Kong every year. But then we do hope that the mega events will come regularly, and we hope that the calendar of mega events will be growing, and the more regular events we have on our calendar, the easier for the industry to make preparations and to tie in with the events. Thank you. That's the end of the press conference.